Hi, it's Friday, June 27th, and we have one system to talk about today. In the Atlantic, we have Invest 91L over the Yucatan Peninsula. This will be tracking into the Bay of Campeche this weekend and may have a chance to form into a brief tropical depression or storm before moving into mainland Mexico by Sunday or Monday. Now, right now, the system is not very organized. We can see the strong southeasterly flow coming out of the Western Caribbean. And if we look at the Bay of Campeche, we have some lighter northeasterly flow, highlighting a tropical wave axis that is generally in here. And we don't really see too many signs of a closed area of low pressure with this. There might be some very light westerly flow across Mexico and Guatemala here, but this is very weak and it's likely just a tropical wave axis here. I don't think we have really a closed center of circulation. And even if it is very weakly closed, this is not well defined. So we have a long way to go before the system actually forms into a tropical system. Though it will be moving into the Bay of Campeche, which is historically a easy place for spin-up tropical systems to occur, partly because of the curvature of the coastline. This can help, in some cases, tropical systems spin up. And for that reason, the Hurricane Center has marked this with a potential for formation, low chance for now, over the weekend. Now, one thing we are seeing take place today is a lot of convection over the tropical wave axis, which again is right here. This is a part of something called frictional convergence. You can see we have very strong southeasterly flow again coming out of the Western Caribbean. It's moving over the landmass, dealing with more friction, and because of that, slowing down and piling up. And by that point, the air only has one way to go, and that is up. So it rises and creates thunderstorms over this. Now, this is going to be persisting as we go into the Bay of Campeche, because you can see the flow here is not as fast in the Bay of Campeche as it is on the Western Caribbean side. So we'll have this background support, but alongside that, you can see some counterclockwise flow over Mexico. This is an upper trough that is going to be sitting here over the weekend and is already producing some disorganized showers and storms on the southeastern side of that axis. And that's going to, alongside this, be providing convective help with Invest 91L as it comes into the Bay of Campeche. And so these factors combined will likely make for at least a chance at tropical development occurring. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a very high chance of it happening, and a lot of things need to go right for this to occur. One thing that's going to be holding it back is the wind shear. You can see already that the environment's moving into is not overly favorable. If the system is moving northwest, you can see clouds streaming out of the southwest. And this is going to be persisting for several days because we do have a tropical system developing here in eastern Pacific. So this is providing an area of high pressure aloft over southern Mexico, which with this trough is providing a bunch of southwesterly flow to come right over the Bay of Campeche. And you can see that if we go into the weekend time frame on the GFS upper level wind plot, this is out to tomorrow afternoon. The system is now in the Bay of Campeche by this time, and we still have this southwesterly flow fetch in the Bay of Campeche over where the system would be, and it really only gets worse. By this point, the system is along the coast of Mexico here, and we still have southwesterly to westerly shear impacting the system, and this is on the range of 20 to 30 knots, at least from what I've seen on modeled soundings. So that's likely going to inhibit the system for the most part from being very strong and developing very quickly, though models do seem still keen on the system at least trying to form because of the convective help that I talked about with this upper trough and the strong trades coming out of the Caribbean. You can see on the GFS model, this is out to tomorrow afternoon. The system is now sitting in the southern Bay of Campeche, and into Sunday, it does begin to tighten up here. You see more darker colors here, more reds showing up, indicating more spin or vorticity in this plot, showing you that the convection that's being fired here in the Bay of Campeche is leading to low pressure development here. And the European is also showing this happening a little less strong than the GFS, but it still does show some amplification of the system as it comes northwest, and it might make it run at being a tropical depression or tropical storm on both of these models just before coming into Mexico. Now, I think what's going to happen here, I think the most likely scenario is that we see the system try to form. It seems pretty likely that we'll see something try to form into an area of low pressure, just given the curvature of the coast and the convective support we'll have from this upper trough and the trade winds from the Caribbean. But anything beyond that, I don't think we'll really get that, and I don't know that we'll really get a tropical system out of this. Now, regardless of that, the system will be bringing plentiful moisture with it. You can see we do have, again, a lot of thunderstorms blowing up here, and this will be persisting over the next few days. And this is going to be moving into an area of the world that's very mountainous in terrain, so not a lot of rainfall can cause a lot of issues here in this part of Mexico, and that's usually the biggest threat here with any tropical system, formed or not, in this part of the world. This is the current Hurricane Center forecast. This is a tropical weather outlook showing you a 30% chance of development. That's what they're giving over the next few days as it comes through the Bay of Campeche. Low chance for now, but worth monitoring. I think if the system does develop like models are showing, they will be flying some reconnaissance planes in this weekend, so we'll get some more data to see exactly how the system is developing. And if it does form into a tropical system, I'll make videos on it. And also the Hurricane Center will have advisories on the system if it does form, but they'll also keep updating this tropical weather outlook every 6 hours. The next one will come out just after this video, showing you the chance of development from the system over the coming days. That's all that I've got for today on this system. We may have to talk about the Pacific in a little bit, maybe this weekend, because we do have a system, like I mentioned, developing offshore, but for now, we're not going to talk about that one all too much, and the Western Pacific is quiet for now after Pat and the system near China, but we may also have to talk there, as there might be some development next week for the Mariana Island chain and areas further west. But again, for Invest 91L, that's all that I've got. I'll have more videos on this as the system develops at the weekend. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.